Hello, my name is Hayden Hart, and this is my level, the train. You will first board the train from the back by pressing E to open the door. Once you have opened the door, you will proceed inside, where you will jump over, go under, and move some boxes out of the way. There is also collectibles highlighted in green, as well as yellow. And you'll jump up these crates and get the next collectible, jump down into what is the freezer slash tire car. In the first side of this car, you have a freezer side with boxes that are frozen, slide around. Second side is a bunch of rubber tires that bounce around. This is the fire car. You will try your best to avoid the fires so you do not get burnt or die. You'll climb up these boxes and get onto the next train, go around the sign, and you will jump down to our featured asset, the tank, where you will once again press the button and it blows a hole into the next train car. You will then avoid the pits of lightning where the water is spilt. Try not to die or get too close, or you will respawn, of course, to the front part of the train car. You will jump over these, collect a collectible, and you will head up another set of stairs. Once you have made your way up here, you will board another top of the train scene, go around the sign, jump down into the explosives car. You'll make your way through a small maze of what is essentially explosives, TNT and oil barrels, collect some of the collectibles, and make your way into the laser car. And here you will make your way past the lasers, grab the atlas, and proceed towards the engine. You will run forward up to the console area, and then you must run back towards the engine area to check for some spare parts, and you have discovered a nuke. You'll collect your collectible and you will deactivate the nuke, thus opening the door at the front of the train so you may get off. Once you have got off the train, you will get into the train station and you will proceed to leave onto the next level.
Hello everyone, once again. My name is Derek Huffman, and this is my area, the abandoned compound. As you can see here, for first looks, you'll notice that the assets have been updated, look-wise, like the key, the circuit box, and the vehicles back there. They all look nicely done. And the terrain, the objects in the building, have all been textured properly, so to give it a more realistic look this time around. Now, one of the first things you'll notice here is that it's really dark here. Even though you won't be seeing it used here, one of the things we want to experiment more with is the flashlight mechanic that was implemented at the start of the Scraps game. And I don't think it gets much use, so we thought we want to get more use out of it. So that's the purpose of making it a little dark here. Now for this stacking of the crate setup, as you can, if you haven't noticed already, the rendering speed of the game has been drastically improved, so it's a little easier to deal with this setup here. However, I still want to simplify that to where the boxes are in the shape of a stairway, and they can only be dragged in one direction, similar to the bridges, because that's how they work. That way, it's not giving too much trouble to the player. Now in the blue key room here, to help with rendering speed for the time being for this build, I did not implement the trap here. So that's the purpose of that, but I will get that to work in gold. Now for the sphere setup here, I actually want to make that just a little tiny bit longer, just so the player has to push it around a corner, so the player learns, oh hey, I can push that around a corner, not just push it straight too. Same thing with the last puzzle, which I'll touch on when we get to the end here. Yeah, now that you notice with it being in the dark and all, and you notice all the glowing objects, it's like pickups are a lot more noticeable now. And adding on to that point, you can see, if you remember from the last video, there was that collectible there within the boxes did not get picked up because it wasn't noticeable at first, but now that it's glowing, now you know there's something back there. Now as we enter the final stretch of rooms here, I did some tweaking to the lasers here. However, like move their positioning and everything. However, I still need to move the floor a bit because I thought that it would have prevented the player from skipping this, but it still does a bit. So I'll have to do that. Okay, for the last sphere room here, I'm going to make it like twists and turns and stuff, like a little maze, so it works out that way. But other than that, those are the changes to my level. And here we go to Steve's area. Other than that, thank you very much.
Hi, this is Steve Hammond, and this is my level of the library, our beta version of it. So as we begin, see I've replaced the cars that were here with actual models of them. There's our cathode and anode. So I head to the door. I got these really nice concrete textures for most of the objects here. Now that we've opened the door, we're going to head through. There we go. And grab our first book. See, I've got some wood textures on the tables there, and we got some computer prop assets there. There's a fuse box. That was in our assets, I believe. Open the door. Knock down this fake wall. Tried to texture it differently so it stood out a little bit. Grab that. New shelves. I found some broken shelf models as well. New table there. Now we've got the ID card. We can get into the library. Run over here. Grab these two books and these two books. There. You can see the desks there. More of the computers. We crouch underneath that. Run over to grab the restoration tools, and we'll head right back out to check the card catalog. You see the textures are kind of clipping through there. I plan to adjust those after for gold so that they look a little better, and stop doing that. Grab the worn book and run over to the door here. Open that up. Got a wood texture on that platform there. So our new laser light. This light here is actually an artifact of one of the lasers that I removed. I'll be fixing that once we get into the gold, of course. Moving this wood crate. Made it a little lighter. I might adjust that again, make it a touch heavier for gold, so it can get kind of difficult to keep control of it. It jumps all over the place. And then we head down here. Jump over here into this room. We got more of those broken shells and such here. Hold the scrap. I made this wall, this little fake wall here, a little smaller so that it didn't get stuck. I had some folks tell me that I was getting stuck there. Now this object I may do some work on. As you can see, it just sort of jumps right out there if you let it go. Jump these tables here. Go into this room, grab the last book from that piece of rubble here. Now I gave the case kind of a metal texture and a little red button there to indicate that it was an object. And that's it.
Hello, I'm Dylan Archambault.
And this is my area, Nemesis Research Labs. The player first has to get over some terrain, which apparently seems to be a little bit on the jumpy side. Jump over some fences and get themselves inside. Moving boxes that way, nothing at all. And shooting them into space, apparently. They come into the lobby, and from here, the player has to use the key item, the Mage Fist, to destroy some pillars and knock down a platform that I have up above. I have to edit the message box a little bit. Once they're across the bridge and down the hole, into the storage area they go. From here, the player needs to use the boxes that will let the player move them to try and get across the campfire. Otherwise, the damage tick kind will kill you before you reach the other side. Unless you do this little trick. It didn't work too well. Once you get across the chemical fire, you find yourself in a position where you have to go and grab the power cells. From there, you go into a little side area, which you have to use the grab-null in order to pull out bits from the walls. Surprisingly enough, those were one of my biggest challenges to make. The whole level is themed around a decrepit building, fallen apart and weathered. You go up the elevator, you go through the offices, down into the lab, where I have to add a bit more, it seems. From there, you go into the main vault area itself. Which in turn kinda has a jumping puzzle. The crates move normally. I see I have to make it a little more difficult. Although the audio didn't pick up, the vault door is fully animated and has sound in it and everything. And well, from there, you go on to the next person's level.
Here we're coming up on my level now. My name is Jennifer Miller, also known as Zenon. This control panel opens the door, which is still having some problems. This crate is supposed to move, but you know what? It's okay. The scrapper is a supermodel. Look at him. He's so skinny. Okay, this metal grate is, metal plate, is supposed to go over that poison pool there, but we usually just run around it. Coming up on this area here, this is a sliding block puzzle that can be arranged from both the floor and the second level. The floor level will reveal a collectible and the stairs right here. And from the second floor, the blocks can be rearranged to get to the optional area that's above the one we were just in. This right here is a optional jump puzzle that can give you collectibles. That over there is the optional area for the second level. And coming up on here, all the horses are dead. I don't know why they're all dead, but they're dead anyway. This is a liar's puzzle that the player can go up and talk to each of the horses, and they will try and confuse the player on which doorway is the real one that they need to go to. This is a miniature jumping puzzle that we are having some problems with. Oh my goodness. We didn't do it this... There we go. I was about to say, we didn't do it that badly in the last one. Oh, there we go. Death. Alright. That's it for mine.
My name's Kevin Henley. When you first walk in, my assets are on the left. Featured asset is the wall texture. When you first come in, you pick up this rock and break open this window. And once the window's broken open, you can go and hit that switch, which will open that door. And then you can walk through, grab the glasses, and that will tell you how many collectibles are in each room. And then once you get that password that's underneath the desk, you can go and go to the computer. That'll give you the coin that you can go over to the box and drop that in, and it'll drop down another rock. You can take that rock and then open up the glass, same way as before. And then that'll open the door. As you walk in here, there's a few collectibles you can get. And you crawl back underneath that beam, and there should be a coin right there. Pick that up, put it in the box, and this time you're going to need one more coin as well. Which is hiding behind those boxes. And you should throw a few of these out of the way. So they're a little bit lighter this time around before they're a little bit too heavy. Grab that second coin. And drop it in that box, and it'll give you the rock. And you can go ahead and smash open the window to this one as well. And you just go ahead and hit that button, and then you have fire down there that you gotta be careful not to be on too long. And same idea here, but this time you have 3 coins that need to go in the box. Each of those trees have a coin underneath, and then there's one right above that window hanging on the edge of it. And drop that in there, and that'll dispense the rock for you to break open the window again. And then go ahead and hit that button again, and that'll let you into this other room where there's electrified water on the ground. And you can actually move these blocks around to get across. It's not completely necessary, because electrified water isn't too damaging, but if you already have low health, then you probably would want to do this. And then the rock's already laying on this one. I figured the puzzle of getting across the water was timely enough that you should just have the rock setting in front of the window. And then you can hit the button on this one as well. And that'll take you to the last puzzle room. And this is a little area off to the side where you can get collectibles. That was a little bit difficult to get sometimes. Alright, so this particular box will need 2 coins. And the one next to it will require 3 coins this time. That other coin is hiding up on that window seal. Boxes are a little bit bigger this time around too, so it makes it a little bit easier to get coins in. Otherwise, it was such a hassle to do last time. I can drop that in there, and that'll give you the final rock. And you can break open this last window. And hit that button. That'll open up the door, and you have an option to open up all the previous doors, so you can run back through the house and pick up any collectibles that you missed that you might want to grab. And this one will open up the final door that will let you go through the back door, which leads out of the house and the end of the level. And that's the end of my level.